One of these setups here has really improved my photography, but can you guess which one? Surprisingly, it's the more minimalist one, and here's why less gear has actually improved my work dramatically. For years, I used to carry absolutely everything, multiple camera bodies, as many lenses as I could fit, and never left without a tripod. Even on full day hikes, I couldn't leave anything behind. The truth is, I wore it like a badge of honor. The more gear I could carry, the more dedicated I felt. In a way, it made me feel more of a photographer. But thankfully, that mindset has completely shifted when I discovered something that may seem counterintuitive. Of course, this shift didn't happen overnight, but eventually I began to downsize and just refine my photography style, learning exactly what I needed and what I didn't. I slowly shifted to a more minimalist camera gear setup, and on my travels, I began testing the Peak Design Everyday Sling, this 6-liter one, a small bag that completely changed my approach. Crazy to think that I used to struggle dropping down from a 30-liter backpack even to a 25-liter one just for daily travel. At first, I assumed I would only maybe use it on occasional days and thought I'd have that real fear of missing out carrying so much less. But it didn't take long. Why hadn't I done this sooner? I quickly went from carrying a backpack almost every day to rarely taking it at all. This Peak Design Sling became the best camera bag I've ever used. I actually still remember those first few trips vividly. It felt like a huge weight had been lifted just walking around with the sling bag. Literally and mentally, I never felt like I was missing out or wished I had more gear. It was just liberating in the best way possible. And most importantly, my work didn't suffer. In fact, the opposite happened, which I'll get to in a sec. Have you had a similar realization or made a switch like this? Let me know. So what do I actually carry now? Let's take a look at my minimalist camera gear setup that fits inside this Peak Design 6-liter sling. How I managed to shoot everything for both photo and video without lugging a heavy bag around. So first of all, I moved everything to a single dedicated camera that really does it all. I used to travel with several, often a smaller walk-around camera, a more professional body, sometimes even a film camera and a second professional body. I use them all, but not often, so I really didn't need them. But now my more professional camera body is also just my walk-around camera, and if I want something lighter, I simply switch to a smaller lens, just like this, and it makes so much more sense to me rather than lugging around an extra camera just to save a tiny bit of weight in hand. Perhaps this approach might not be for everyone, but for me, this real simplification of things, one body that really does it all, really changes everything. So my choice is the Canon R5 Mark II, and it's not the smallest camera body, but when you pair it with the right lens, I feel more than comfortable to walk around for an entire day with camera in hand. I honestly don't really notice a difference compared to carrying around something like my old Fuji. Unless you're moving to a truly compact, pocketable camera, the size trade-off isn't worth it for me, and I actually prefer the ergonomics of the R5. Naturally, your lens choice really is key here, and I try to avoid heavy lenses and stick to these smaller, lighter options wherever possible. For me, most days, it's a one camera, two lens setup, including a wider lens, which is often the 14 to 35 for versatility, sometimes this 28 though. And secondly, it's always paired with a 50mm prime for shallow depth of field, low light performance, and just my go-to. I honestly shoot so much at this single focal length. I can easily shoot an entire day just at this one focal length and never feel restricted. I feel free. When you're strapped for choice, you often get more creative, which is far more important to me. Interested? Do you have a go-to lens like this? On and off, I also carry a third lens, which is usually an 85mm, just for that slightly different perspective. This minimalist camera gear approach covers pretty much everything for what I shoot, and definitely provides more than enough choice. There is another big benefit that I haven't mentioned, and that's simply having your camera out more often. Swinging a backpack around takes just enough effort that once your camera's packed away, sometimes it can stay there. But when using this Peak Design sling, even if there's enough room inside, my camera usually is always out and ready. I only tend to tuck it away if I'm stopping to eat, grab a drink, or just take a break. That constant readiness really changes everything, and not just physically, it's mental. You start scanning scenes, anticipating, and just staying in that mindset. And honestly, the more time you spend with a camera in hand, it just starts to feel more natural. It becomes almost second nature. Honestly, at this point, I think I feel more comfortable walking around with a camera in my hand than without one. So all the extras in here are pretty minimal, but things I use every day, including my Nisi filter set for video, spare batteries, and often a POV camera, which is usually a GoPro or the new Oakley Meta glasses. I haven't ditched the backpack altogether. It's still essential on travel days when I need to pack my laptop and all the extras into one bag, but even that setup has slimmed down from my old 30-litre days. Now I swap between the Peak Design Everyday Zip and the Shimoda Explore, both only 20-litre. Some days I'll still take the backpack out, like when I need a second body, tripod, or extra gear, but those days are pretty rare now. For audio, I usually just use the DJI Mic 2. Gone are the days of those bulkier on-camera mics as well. So day to day, the sling really covers everything I need, but when a project calls for more gear, I'll simply grab the backpack for that day, then go right back to my sling. So how has this actually changed my photography? And it's quite simple. Carrying less has made me far more intentional. What I don't think I was prepared for goes far beyond just the physical benefits of carrying less. This lightweight setup really freed me up mentally, and that's the real game changer. I stopped thinking so much about gear and focused more on shooting, having to make far fewer decisions on lenses, focal length, and which camera to take out for the day all took a huge weight off me mentally. So I started to notice more, moved more, and most importantly, I shot more because I wasn't tired or weighed down physically or mentally. So it's really no surprise that my photos actually got better as well. So rather than chasing every possible scenario, I started focusing on those moments that truly mattered to me. So yeah, I guess it's not just about the bag, it's really about what it represents, that simplicity, intention, and freedom. To me, there's just no going back. Because when you stop carrying everything, you really start focusing on what matters, or at least I did. If you feel the same, or even if you've had the total opposite experience, I'd love to hear from you. And if you enjoyed this one, please do subscribe. And as always, keep shooting, stay curious, and catch you in the next one. Bye for now.